And we are live on Facebook right now, Good Day Sacramento, with Sam and her husband Patrick Cullinane, authors of Bigger Love, just released over the summer. How to have the love of your life for the rest of your life. Now, having a conversation with these two, visiting in from Utah this morning, because you're going to be presenters at a conference here, the One Life Fully Lived conference. We're in Rancho Cordova at the Marriott. That conference kicks off tomorrow morning, asking everybody to arrive about 8 a.m. and we'll let you know about a Good Day promo code that you can experience and you can jump in on and take advantage of in just a minute. But first, okay, you guys have a really interesting story because you were married for 10 years, and then what happened?
And then we almost got divorced.
She told me to move out.
The papers were signed.
The papers were signed. Yeah.
You packed up and moved to Spain.
I packed up and moved to Spain, took a job in Europe, and we were calling it quits.
Okay, so fast forward now, 10 years beyond that, you're getting ready to celebrate your 22nd wedding anniversary coming up in 6 months. How did you weather that storm from having the papers signed to saying, okay, actually this is my human. This is the person I want to be with?
Can we say shit on this?
Let's keep the cussing to a minimum. Patrick has a potty mouth.
In the year that we were apart, I think for me, I just had to own my own stuff, and I had a lot of stuff that I figured out after I got finished blaming Sam.
Yeah.
And that's what helped. That's what helped me. And then
I think my story is similar. You know, when we were apart, I had to really do some deep diving on what I did bring and didn't bring to the relationship.
And it's so much easier to point at the other person and be like, oh, it's all his fault. It's all her fault.
Well, and the thing is once you're apart, you realize the same issues are happening and he's not there. I can't blame him anymore. I'm still having the same, the same challenges.
So having that self-awareness is actually really important to having a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
So one of the first chapters, maybe it's even the first chapter in the book, you talk a lot about self-love and the importance of loving yourself as a building block, a foundation for all of the relationships, whether it's going to be a marriage or, even just a friendship.
Absolutely.
And do you, I guess in your experience with people that you've met, because I guess for a second, let's talk about why you wrote the book. Why this seemed important and powerful.
Well, the first 10 years of our marriage, which resulted in our separation, we didn't have any tools. We kind of just fumbled through it, like most couples do. And we learned a lot in the year apart, and then we learned a lot after that because we kept working on the relationship. And so we kind of wanted to put together a toolbox for people that they could go in and tweak their relationship if things weren't quite working well, or if they didn't understand why it wasn't working well. Here's some of the crap that we had to go through that that might help you understand better what you're going through. And so we just wanted to put the information out there, so there was something that kind of touched on what we feel like are the most important things to make a relationship work, or make ours work anyway. Yeah.
And we have, our friends ask us for help with their relationships, knowing our story, and it's a little bit of a shortcut for us to say, here, read this, and then we can counsel you after after you understand some of the basics.
Oh, that's chapter 7. Just go read that.
What's chapter 7 about? So, going back to the self-love part, it's a foundation for all humans. And yet, so many people struggle with that element, that self-love. And what does it even mean? Yeah, what does it even mean to practice self-love? What does that look like? And that's still a struggle for you, Patrick.
Yeah, I barely even learned what it was. I used to joke that Sam was writing that chapter in the book, so I didn't have to worry about it. But
nice.
No, I didn't realize until very recently that I had my own issues with loving myself. So I beat myself up. I was one of the biggest critics. Was the biggest critic by far of my own self. So
just with negative self-talk in your mind.
Oh yeah.
Putting yourself down.
Oh yeah. And I still battle with it all the time, but I understand it a lot better now, and I work on not beating myself up that much. But Sam's probably the expert on it, in my opinion.
I struggle with it too. I think it's a process, right? You don't get to the place where I love myself completely. As we say, it's kind of like enlightenment. It's something we all kind of stumble towards and do our best. But I do engage in a lot of activities that I think are self-loving. I meditate every day, I journal, I try to eat right, I exercise, I take care of my body. I have a spiritual practice. I mean, I have all these things that I do that help me be my best self, so that when I'm engaging in any of my relationships, and especially with Patrick, since we're together all the time, I bring my best self for him.
Because you're getting your needs met outside of the relationship. You're taking care of yourself in a way. You're not putting that on Patrick, saying, okay, I need you to make me happy. I need you to do all these things so that I can show up. No, it's actually about me doing the work so that I can show up. I don't need you to do anything for me. I need to be whole myself.
Exactly. And that was, I mean, with our time apart, that was what I realized, that I was relying on him to make me happy, and it wasn't. You can't do that to the only person that can take care of yourself is you. I mean, we say in the book, and I'm going to give it away a little bit, but the love of your life is yourself. You are the only person that you will be with from cradle to grave. You're the most important person in your life. He comes in second, but I have to take care of myself first. He has to take care of himself first.
And so when you first got married, back when you were just little babies, when you first got married, that concept of self-love, I mean, was that even on your radar?
No.
Nope.
And in your experiences with people who you've met throughout this journey in different conferences, One Life Fully Lived, that you've been speaking at, do you find that a lot of people struggle with that foundational block?
I think so. I mean, one of the things that for me that I recognized is that when you're beating yourself up and that internal dialogue is going on, you have a shorter fuse with people around you. Like if somebody even points out a flaw that you've been hammering yourself about, you're like, ugh, and you kind of go after them a little bit. You know what I mean? So that internal disappointment kind of manifests itself in the relationship as well. So by fixing your internal dialogue, you're a lot more present in the, I don't know, the way I'm trying to articulate it. That's why I'm glad I could write the book. But
but I think I'm following you though.
Yeah.
That when you're taking care of yourself, when you're kind to yourself, when you're loving yourself, when you're doing whatever steps it might be, and it's going to look different from Sam to Patrick to me. Everyone has their own self-love things that they need to do. For me, I love cooking. That is big self-love for me. If I can just be in the kitchen cooking, it's very meditative for me, and that's how I practice self-love. One of my ways, taking bubble baths, I love those.
Yeah.
He's going to have something different than you do, but once you practice that self-love, you're going to be able to show up for everybody else from a level of okay, my needs are met, I'm good, I'm not going to be triggered by whatever stuff you have going on, so I can bring my best self to this relationship right now.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to search out what that is that kind of lights you up, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just little teeny things like taking a bath, something you have complete control over.
Absolutely.
But
baths are the best. They're the best.
I agree with you.
There's a sacred space, got my little candle going, got the incense, and zone out here, put a little book on. Mm-hmm. Okay, so speaking of which, the audiobook of Bigger Love, you're just putting the finishing touches on that.
We should be out
Tuesday.
Oh, all right.
Or Wednesday.
Great.
Hopefully.
It's going to be soon.
Unless we have to re-record some. Because mine's pretty much perfect, but Sam has some work to do.
Oh, clearly. Yeah.
Clearly,
obviously. So you two, you read the whole, you go back and forth, and you're the ones who are, I love that.
Yeah, we decided to do it ourselves because it is kind of a dialogue between us, and as if we're having a conversation with you. So hopefully it comes out that way.
Okay, so what's your vision? What's your hope for this book? For people who would come into contact with it, whether they're watching on Facebook Live or they're thinking about coming to the One Life Fully Lived conference this weekend?
Well, we kind of make a bold statement in the beginning of the book that if you have the right tools, we think the divorce rate, because it's around 50%, but we think we can cut it down to like 10 to 15.
That is a bold claim. I like it. That is optimism, my friends.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Go bigger. Bigger love.
Bigger.
So you say with the right tools, and you think this is one of the right tools. This is a tool in the toolbox for people to tap into.
Yeah, and we give a lot of other tools in there too, because we know there is no definitive book about anything. So there's plenty of other things that you can use that we recommend.
Yeah, we reference other books that we love that have influenced our relationship and helped us along the way. Yeah.
If you're committed to learn how to make a great relationship and to work on it, then you'll succeed. You'll be in that 85 to 90%.
I love that. He makes it so simple. So simple. So, One Life Fully Lived. What is it? What is this One Life Fully Lived conference that you two are participating in? And this is, how many times have you, I think this is the 7th annual that they've done, or the 7th.
Yeah.
This is the 7th one. I think we started participating after
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
And how did you,
involved a while.
how did you decide that this was something that you wanted to give to the community, to the public?
The conference?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a very personal story. I'm gonna tell all your friends a personal story. In 2014, I was diagnosed with PTSD and was having panic attacks.
Wow.
Debilitating panic attacks, and I couldn't leave my home. I didn't want to leave the house. And Patrick said, I heard about this conference and I want you to go. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not going.
Yeah, people. No,
People.
thank you.
I don't want to be around people. I just need to stay home. And he was like, no, I really want you to go. So we made it there. And I went to some of these sessions. I'd never been to anything like One Life Fully Lived. And I sort of thought people were crazy, but there was so much enthusiasm and love and support. And I ended up learning something at that conference that cured me of my panic attacks. I'm a totally different person. So part of why I want to be involved with One Life Fully Lived is because it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life.
So can you talk about what it was that you learned, or that's even more personal?
It's pretty personal. I mean, it's something called energy tapping.
Yeah. Oh, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
A lot of therapists will use that as a tool specifically for PTSD.
They do, and I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't been exposed to it, so it saved me. I mean, it was my step into learning about all different kinds of ways of healing.
Wow.
That wasn't traditional medicine.
I love that.
Can I jump in?
Yeah,
and Patrick.
Because the thing I love about One Life is everybody comes, they kind of go do their own thing, and everybody experiences something different. And we brought our daughter with us, and she was 17 at the time. She went to different breakouts on real estate and investing, and she went home and started taking real estate classes. And on her 18th birthday, she went out and just took the test and got her real estate license.
Way to go!
Right?
Yeah.
Proud mom and dad.
We're very proud.
So,
It's for all ages.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And that's the part that really speaks to me is I love that young people can go there and realize that, because I feel like, and this may be taboo, but we're getting kind of sold a bill of goods. You have to get good grades in high school so that you can get into a good college, and then you have to go get good grades in college so you can get a good job so you can pay off all the debt that you just accrued.
All that debt. I mean, not everyone's path looks the same.
No, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm like, screw college. I learned how to drink beer in college. That was about it. But
True words by Patrick.
So I love that One Life kind of, has that whole entrepreneurial spirit that it kind of brings to the table with all the different speakers and everybody else that's here, and that's my favorite part of it.
And so you two of the presenters who are going to be doing kind of the more private breakouts. And so for people who are interested, there are still tickets available. It's onelifefullylived.org. Number one, onelifefullylived.org. And then Good Day, one word, Good Day, gets you a discount. So if you go to the website, then you'll get a discount using the promo code.
And that's
Good
2
Day.
Ds.
It is. It's 2 Ds. One word, 2 Ds. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. You guys you're so fun. You're so inspiring. I've loved getting to know you and chatting with you. I'm really excited to read the book.
Listen to it on the Audible.
Oh, see, you know me. It's so much easier.
It's so much easier.
I'll wait until the audio comes out next week, and then when I'm driving places, I'll be able to absorb all the wisdom.
Audiobooks reduce road rage.
I think that's
You
true.
have something to do. You're listening to your book.
See, I've always used NPR or classical music as my way to reduce road rage, but yes, audiobooks, just one more way to keep everyone safe on the roadways. Thanks for chatting with me, you guys.
Thank you.
Good luck at the conference.
Thank you.
You have to sit in on their talk. All right.
I would love to have you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, you guys.